Okay, so with this video, we just arrived to a new campsite, and I wanted to walk you through what is our process to get connected. Like, how do I know which bands are the right ones and which carrier has the fastest speeds? What that whole process, I wanted to take you through it and show you what my personal process is when I get to a new campground. Now, to lay the grounds, I'll go over what equipment I've got just quickly and how that kind of can play into effect. But for the most part, I think everyone's process could be similar to this, depending on, of course, where you're landing, what kind of equipment you've got, what your overall goals are. But this is my process. So first, to give you a quick level set of what I've got and kind of how that will play into effect. For first, I have a Transit Duo. That is going to be the Ultimate Road Warrior package. That is the bundle I'm particularly working with for this video. One key thing is I do have two modems with this package. So you will see a Cell 1 and a Cell 2. If you're doing a Speed Demon bundle or a full timer, you might only have one modem, and that's fine. Process really won't change, just a quick disclaimer on that one too. From a data plan standpoint, man, I have too many for all the testing we have to do here, but my primary ones are going to be AT&T and Verizon. If you've got other plans like a Visible or T-Mobile or a Sprint plan, again, the process isn't really going to be any different. This is just going to be my personal setup based on what I've got. So that's my hardware, and that is my plans. Now let's dive into a computer. This could be a phone or a tablet. It honestly depends on which one's closest to me based on my time of setup. Today I'm just going to be using my laptop. Let's log into the PepWave, and I'll show you the process from there. Now for me, my PepWave is always powered on. It's wired directly into the 12-volt system connected to the battery, so I don't have to worry about it powering on with shore power or inverters or anything. If you have that, of course, you're going to need to power this up to get there. I turn off everything to get started, and I leave on one modem at a time. And the goal here is really just to get a concept of what each network is going to provide me. And so let's go with that. So the first test is going to be with our modem 1 on AT&T. All I'm doing is just dragging, making sure that particular carrier is in priority 1, and then I run a speed test. And so we're looking at 21 down, 22, 23, and I'm speeding this up a bit for you guys, just so you don't have to wait for all these speed tests. And we're looking about 20 up. So that's a pretty healthy network. A little bit of saturation because the download speed should be a little faster than the upload, but it's not bad overall. Now I'm going to turn off Cell 1, turn on Cell 2, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, and now we have Verizon enabled, and we're going to go over and hit go on our speed test. Honestly, this is a really good speed for Verizon, or a good speed in general for LTE. So that's more than adequate for our stay here. There you go. So we've got about 20 down on AT&T. We've got about 50 down on Verizon, and they're both about 20 up. Looks like Verizon's a little stronger. So at this point, you could really just pick. If this was a single modem, and like let's say in this particular modem you only had one, and you were switching between SIMs, what you would do here is you would go down and you would just hit SIM B, and you would hit save and apply. I don't have a SIM in this particular modem for that slot, but that would be how you switch it if you're in a single modem device. And from that point, you could just pick and choose. Do you want to leave SIM A on? Do you want to leave SIM B on? In my case, since I have two particular modems, they're both pretty strong. I could just leave both of them on, and that's going to give me really good load balancing. So one connection is going to go to AT&T, and then the next connection that connects to the Wi-Fi is going to go to Verizon. It's just going to kind of round robin back and forth. That would be a really good way to get a lot of bandwidth kind of out of this particular router. Now, if you wanted to connect to Campground Wi-Fi or any other Wi-Fi sources or other WAN sources, so you got a hardwire connection or anything like that, you can drag those up into priority 1 and continue to do this test. The idea here is we're just getting a baseline. What does every connection look like, and which one do we want to choose? At this point, I have a pretty good idea of my speeds for both. Now I kind of take into account my data plans. So my AT&T plan has a 500 gig cap. For right now, mid-2021, that's pretty standard if you have a reseller plan, that they all seem to have a pretty similar cap of around 500 gigs. My Verizon plan is actually a grandfathered unlimited plan. That still, I think, has about a terabyte cap on it, so but it's way higher, and I actually have never reached that. So I'm probably, in my case, going to probably stick with Verizon if this was my choice between the two. I have more data to use. The speeds are better. That looks like a really solid network here. Now, in my Duo, I think I'd actually leave both of them on. That's typically what I do. I will run both at the same time. Now, a level 2, this is going to be to the intermediate level advanced if you have a Duo, and something that we really like and why we pitch a lot of the Duos for redundancy is I can turn on Speed Fusion now. And Speed Fusion will actually bond these networks together, and let's do a speed test once that's enabled. Okay, so you can see I've enabled Speed Fusion, and it's not that simple if you don't have it set up, but I've basically just gone on and enabled the tunnels I've already set up. And you see the VPN Speed Fusion kind of line there, and it's creating tunnels. Now it's updating routes, and it's basically just confirming each WAN source is connected. And then we'll see established. So now I'm just going to open the speed test app like we've done before. We'll see our provider at the bottom is going to change to Amazon since that's where the actual tunnel is being hosted. We can hit go, and we'll see what the speed is now. So enabling Speed Fusion does not mean my connection is going to get faster. It's not stacking the speeds one on another. It's creating more channels. So it is duplicating a lot of the internet packets over both AT&T and Verizon so that my connection is far more stable. If one drops, in real time, my connection won't drop. If I'm on a Zoom call and the AT&T tower loses power, like I'm going to stay connected because Verizon is still in line and we're bonded. It's a hot failover. So don't take it that the speed tests here are slow and that's a bad thing. That's actually doing exactly what I want it to. And 40 megabytes through a bonded tunnel and 25 up. That's a super solid connection for us. And this is going to be a great stay for us here. All right, so that's kind of my setup process here when we get to a new campground, just kind of analyzing what are my options here, what kind of networks do I've got, how healthy is everything, and I do kind of a good baseline overall as far as what connections are active and what will work, and then, if you've got a Duo, you can look at Speed Fusion and other things if you want to get more advanced. All right, guys, if you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave comments below, but it is usually better, and we can get back to you with a little bit more personal response if you email us at info@mobilemust-have, or if you chat with us directly on our website, we can answer any particular questions you have there. All right, guys, hope to see you on the road. Bye.